unfortunately because of winters everything was closed. But this time in our trip we made sure that we do kayaking. So that's how we are going today towards Crystal Boat Kayak, wherein through the boat itself we'll get a complete view of all the surrounding creatures, mainly which creature?
Manatees.
And they also mentioned that we may encounter few turtles and dolphins.
Yes.
It's a possibility. Let's see what we can see. So yeah, this is our first time experience, so we are super excited.
Yeah.
So now let's go and see what all we can. After an enjoyable drive, we reached our destination only to find out that the weather wasn't on our side. The strong winds made kayaking impossible. So unfortunately, we had to save this adventure for some other day. We kept our excitement still alive, hoping to find a spot for kayaking somewhere in Miami. And the weather made it very clear why kayaking wasn't a good idea that day. With strong winds and occasional rains along the way, we took a few breaks and finally reached Miami. Since our plan was to head to Key West the next day, all that was left to do after the long drive was to get some well-deserved rest and recharge for the adventure ahead. After checking out, we began our drive to Key West. Today was going to be another long day on the road, but this drive is exactly what Key West is famous for. As we crossed the overseas highway, we were surrounded by stunning views of the ocean on both the sides. This iconic route connects the Florida Keys through a series of bridges over the ocean. No doubt why this is one of the most scenic drives in the world. We could spot a series of boats almost everywhere along the way. Following one, we reached here to fill in our tummies. We took a short break, enjoyed the fresh ocean breeze for a while, and then continued our drive. We had been spotting boats all along the way, and now we were seeing private jets everywhere. The sun was almost setting and we still had some drive ahead of us. But with views like these all around, the journey never felt tiring. And finally, we reached the streets of Key West. The whole place had such a colorful and vibrant atmosphere. We absolutely loved it. We then quickly checked into our hotel, and even the reception was filled with beach accessories and essentials. So this was going to be our stay for tonight. With the beach just few steps away, I was super excited to check out the room and experience my very first beach resort stay. The entire streets were lit up and so did the cars. After freshening up, we headed out to catch a glimpse of the beach, even though we knew there wouldn't be much to see in the dark. But then we spotted this famous Southernmost Point marker. It's one of Key West's most iconic landmarks. For those who don't know, this iconic spot marks the southernmost point of the continental US and is only about 90 miles away from Cuba. Next, it was time for some shopping.
Souvenir.
Though it was late, we still visited the beach so that we don't waste the day.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we couldn't see anything because it was all dark. So we'll have to revisit tomorrow morning again.
Yeah, we will. After breakfast, we will.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, we got a souvenir of Key West so that we don't forget. We won't forget because as if you guys are watching our videos, you might know that every trip we definitely take souvenirs with us.
Yeah.
As but so yeah, so we anyways got a good one, so we grabbed it today itself.
Yeah.
So now that's it. Nothing much to do. We just had, as you might have seen, we just had a tour of this street. Now we'll go back to our room and explore tomorrow. And just like that, the next day began with a nice complimentary breakfast before we headed out to explore more of Key West. And we weren't alone for the breakfast. We had these little companions too. We next headed to take a glimpse of the private beach of this resort. After spending some time here and enjoying watching these water activities, we then headed back to the hotel, enjoyed a cup of coffee, and then checked out. We had a few activities planned for today. To start with, we revisited the beach we couldn't see properly last night as it was dark. We enjoyed some beach vibes, did our usual mandatory name writing on the sand, and then left. Was wondering what this long queue was for, and then found out it was for taking photos at the Southernmost Point, which we had already captured. So we then walked towards the Key West Lighthouse. It has an interesting story behind it. The original lighthouse was damaged during a powerful hurricane in the 1800s and had to be rebuilt shortly after. Since then, it has stood as an important landmark guiding ships safely. We did go inside, but unfortunately, because the steps were too steep, couldn't record anything. But had fun. Next, we decided to hop on a train tour, the Conch train tour, which is again one of the famous tours here in Key West. We bought our tickets and now we were all set to enjoy the train tour. We also had option for bus tours, but that's something that we have done quite often and this was something new for us, so we opted for the train tour. This was almost an hour's tour with some stops in between. As we go through the ride, the guide explains the significance of each spot. And here each house that you see has got some or the other significance. In short, this is a good tour for somebody who is new in Key West and want to know about the history and heritage about this place. In one of the stops, we ran into the shop to check if we get something good to take back home, but we couldn't find something great, so we headed back to the train. And yes, we were wondering why are these roasters seen everywhere, and so the guide did explain about this. They were brought here for cockfighting in the very initial times, and then since there is no more cockfighting, they roam around freely, and mishandling them in any which ways is a crime here. And there our tour comes to an end. It was fun. As I said, we could understand a lot about this place. And this was a bus that I was talking about, which we didn't want to do this time, hop on, hop off bus. And then we headed to this one particular store which had multiple shells of different shapes and sizes and also very beautiful artistic pieces. We almost felt to grab everything back home, but then we tried to resist ourselves and just bought few things for our souvenir purpose. And with that, our Key West trip comes to an end and now we are heading back to Miami. So again, yes, we are driving back through the beautiful scenery with ocean all around. After that long drive, we reached back to Miami, where we were stuck in this heavy traffic for a long time. We found out the reason for this traffic, and this was something new for us. If you can see this is a road or the bridge that we call, which lifts itself up so that the ships can pass underneath. So, I mean, this is something new that I haven't seen before in any places across the US. So we really felt this as something fascinating, where you actually see the road on which your vehicle drives lifted up all the way. So yeah, this was the bridge or the road that was lifted for the ships to pass. Well, that's all in this video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Until next time.
Let's keep rocking.